After two high-profile defeats, well, his image was rebuilt by a savvy strategist, and he won the White House in 1968. I'm Matt Haskell. I'm a high school history teacher, and we're going through Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire," lyric by lyric, verse by verse. And we've had birth control, Ho Chi Minh, Richard Nixon back again. And when Billy Joel sings Richard Nixon back again, he's talking about the comeback that turned effectively what was a political obituary into the presidency. If we start with the fall, Nixon lost the 1960 election to John F. Kennedy, and then lost the 1962 California governor's race. And he told reporters that, you won't have Dick Nixon to kick around again, kick around anymore. And so for observers, that sounded like the end of his career. But now we go to the return. In 1968, the United States was pretty much in turmoil. You had Vietnam, you had urban unrest, you had assassinations taking place, and there was a fracturing within the Democratic Party. So Nixon reemerges as a candidate of order and experience, promising peace with honor in Vietnam and a more calmer home front. He built a new coalition that pulled suburban voters and parts of the South into the Republican side of the equation, especially when George Wallace split off another chunk of the vote. Nixon did win a narrow popular vote and a clear electoral majority, and so the line in the song lands right there. What followed made the comeback feel complete. Nixon reshaped foreign policy with détente and high-profile summits. He opened relations with the People's Republic of China in 1972. He negotiated SALT I, which was the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty with the Soviet Union. He presented himself as this cool realist who could manage, this superpower rivalry. At home, he pursued Vietnamization and troop withdrawals while the war dragged on into Cambodia and Laos, which sparked protests that, reached their highest point at Kent State in 1970. He also signed major domestic laws on the environment and workplace safety, which created the EPA, and he supported the Clean Air Act and eventually the creation of OSHA. In 1972, he won re-election in a landslide, which was proof that the comeback had become a form of dominance. The shadow, though, that ends that story is Watergate, and it belongs to, later lyrics here in this song. But you can already see the seeds in the 1972 campaign culture of secrecy and hardball tactics that will lead to Watergate. When we tie it back to the song, Richard Nixon back again, these words capture a reversal of fortune. From, finished in 1962 to president in 1968. Nixon's return, it reshaped both the political map for the United States, we still feel it today, and also the playbook for the Cold War. The reason why this portion of the song matters, Richard Nixon coming back, his political comeback, it shows that timing and messaging and coalition building can basically rewrite a man's career. It also explains the pivot to southern and suburban voters that still shapes politics in the United States today, and it sets up the next chapters, the next lyrics in the song when we go Moonshot, Watergate, right? So that's where we're at. So if you've enjoyed this particular episode, please, do all the things that, like and comment and share and follow. I'm going to keep making these because I'm going to finish this song. It's been a long time getting through it. But our next episode, we'll cover Moonshot. Thanks for watching.